Yo, what's up, ComPODres? Welcome back to another episode. Is your host with the most from the West Coast, SB Press, reporting live from Mastermind Media. And as always, to my right, Lance the Man himself.
Yeah.
And also to my right, Joe Rosati himself.
What's happening?
And today to my left, we have the amazing, talented, and beautiful Miss Julia Ross with us.
Hello.
And like that, ComPODres, let's go.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with hard hits.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a awesome, amazing, talented individual with us today
Yes, we do.
by the name of Julia Ross.
Hello. Oh, wow.
That's
Yes,
right.
the applause.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that was the moment that I live for just now.
We're
that
trying
I've done all of this for.
Trying to make those, those life-living moments every time.
Yeah. Just the,
Every moment counts.
Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. We appreciate
so
it.
happy to be here, guys.
No, definitely. So before we get into our, first segment, could you give the ComPODres at home a little bit of a backstory of who you are, where you're originally from, and, your family upbringing?
Oh, man.
Yeah, wow.
A little bit?
Yeah,
A little snippet. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
I grew up in Nashville, hence the music scene. And my family is incredible. They're dope. And we literally moved from Pittsburgh to Nashville to start our music career. And
Oh,
I
that's
was in
awesome.
a band with my sisters for like 15 years. And my dad sold the house he built for my mom and us three girls just to go to Nashville
Wow.
for our dream.
Talk about support.
Honestly,
That
it's
is
insane.
huge. That's
It's
awesome.
It's nuts. Like my family, I'm so lucky and I'm so blessed to have them. And my sisters and I worked together and didn't kill each other,
Yes.
which is,
Yes.
that is that is a success in itself. But yeah, my parents have just always said and always given the out too. Like, hey, if you don't want to do this anymore, you can go to school. You can, because I started when I was 8 years old
Oh, wow.
in the music industry and touring when I was 8. And, I remember I went to high school once because I was like, I want to be a normal girl, like Pinocchio, but not. And my family was like, all right, let's go to school. And I'm like, okay. So I registered for a high school and I walked in and I was picking out my locker and all this stuff. And I was so excited and nervous. I didn't even think I just watched the Disney Channel thinking I was going to go in and be a cheerleader. I'm going to be so popular,
Right.
have all the friends and everything. And then I picked out my locker and then the next day got an offer for an 8-month world tour.
Wow.
So you're the real definition of one and done.
Yeah, exactly.
Real definition of one and done.
One and done.
Yeah, but I had to make the choice and they let me make the choice. They
What a
said,
choice.
you can do all of this if you want to, and not both. But I had to choose between school or touring. And obviously I chose touring.
Touring.
Great.
Yeah.
Great one.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's a little snippet
Little
there.
snippet.
Hey, way to start the podcast.
Love
Yeah.
it already. Now we do have an awesome segment that we call Let It Fly, where we're going to be throwing some images up here. First thing come to mind, just let it fly.
Shit.
Right.
All right. So we got a
We can
treat
edit
for
this
you.
thing, right?
Yes.
It can't be nothing bad. It's all fun. it's all fun. It's all fun
Mastermind got
games, I
us.
promise.
Mastermind got us.
3, 2, 1.
Right.
Oh, my buddy boy.
Yes. Now,
That's my bud and my other hair color.
let us know the incredible story of your little buddy.
Simon. Simon's the best. He's turning 9 in
Oh, wow.
September. So we've been Simon is a dog. For those who are not
Clarify that.
Yeah. The story I'm about to tell would be confusing if they didn't know that. Found him on the side of the street. No, just kidding. Simon, I was going through a really tough time in life. One of those times where you wake up on the floor with a bottle of whiskey and forget about everything.
Absolutely.
That was the time. And my dog at the same time, my dog before him, fella, passed away. And he was my first love, my first bud. And so I thought getting a puppy would fix all my problems. as most people do during Christmas time, and then
Right.
shelters fill up. But I've never.
I thought that was only in the
Don't let that
Simpsons.
just slide. That was
Right?
hella funny.
Simpsons, Santa's little helper.
Then the
Christmas
shelters
time.
fill up.
Santa's little helper.
Yeah, I thought that was only in the cartoons, the Simpsons, But
That's hilarious.
So
real life.
Yeah, so I got Simon, and I saw his face, and I just named him Simon because it just made sense. His personality kind of shone through, whatever. I was homeschooled. It was on his face, and then I didn't realize how painful it is to get another dog after one
Right.
passes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was already not fully present in reality because of the time in life. And so I remember one day he puppy, I couldn't stand. I was trying to crate train him. It was too much. And then I had him sleep on my pillow, and he was this tiny, he was a tiny little bud. And I woke up to him peeing on the pillow, which then slid down onto my face. And I woke up to it, and he just stared at me. And I was it was like he was looking at me saying, I need you just as much as you need me right now.
Oh.
And in that moment was the moment I was like, you are my new bud.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so we got close when he was 6 months old.
Gotcha.
The P is
Yeah.
how they embarked on each other.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to.
Good
go
thing it was
into
that and not pink eye. For
I
real.
know. Yeah, that would be disgusting.
How about your dog? Does that ever happen to you?
Nah, man, I haven't had that, but I mean, I can relate to what she's saying because when I got Howie, my other dog, Romo, he passed probably about 4 months earlier, and then my buddy just came up to him and gave it to me at 6 weeks old.
Right.
Yeah.
But one of those first nights, he did, shit on the wall right by the bed, and I just looked at him, and he's like, that's part of being a dog owner,
It is.
FYI, Joe hates stepping in dog shit.
No, I've got clips on that. That's my biggest pet peeve. Stepping dog shit.
Do you know somebody who likes it?
No, but I know. But when I do it to my J's, it really makes me mad. I don't. I see everybody's getting me all worked up already.
Ultimate warrior time.
Just clean up their
got
shit.
it
That's all I
fired up.
ask. Just clean up their shit. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
I was
Very
hoping
simple.
this would have brought that out.
Is that what your motivation behind
Well,
it?
I wanted you to bring out the man's best friend part.
Yeah,
but
he
then
is my
also
best friend.
Your
He is
biggest
my
pet
best
peeve
friend.
as
That's my
well.
homie.
Like at least he kept it real, right?
Yeah.
Right. What else we got?
3, 2, 1.
Oh
Oh shit.
yeah. So this is what's better? What's produced more stars? What has who's been more successful between these two?
Between the two,
Yes.
I forgot this happened.
It's still currently on.
It's still on.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Really relevant.
Right.
Here's the thing. I support both
Right.
because there is a group of people in both of those companies that work their asses off to make it possible.
Right.
And I
Right.
respect everybody behind it and the idea, building something from the ground up. But I'm not a fan of reality shows.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I don't think I would choose either.
Is there any behind
Do you
the
really
scenes
think that's a
reasons?
reality show? Because these people are trying to get to their dreams,
that's
though.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
what
it
I'm
a little.
Yeah.
I think it is a little bit because it's TV. You know,
Right.
like people aren't gonna watch the real, except unless you're watching, the Kardashians, which everything's real on
Right.
that show. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, sure it is.
Everything.
I'm sure it is. I would like to.
I don't want to be
fucking see
disrespectful
scripts
about
and
what
lives of
isn't
that
real
shit.
on that
Yeah,
show, but we just gonna leave that
She
alone.
just answered both of our questions subliminally
Yes,
right there.
yes,
Did
she
you hear
did.
that?
I did hear that.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was
So
good.
yeah, I respect him, but I will say I met one of a really close friend. I did American Idol one time. I'm guessing that's why that's on the screen. It wasn't aired. It wasn't aired, or my thing wasn't. I got to Hollywood and did all of that. But the story behind it was a lot of you're a backup singer, you're a backup singer, you're a backup singer. What's it like to be 20 feet from stardom always? And I was just like, I don't like this narrative very much, And the people that worked on it were so dope and they were so kind and so understanding. And I got sick. I got sick a week before Hollywood Week. So I got up. Oh, it was one of the most mortifying experiences in my life, I think. Because I was signed to Disney when I was younger. And, that's a story for about 20 minutes from now.
Yes.
But I was signed at the time, and some of the people in the crowd were from Disney.
Right.
So I was like standing up on the stage knowing that I was probably going to bomb it because I couldn't sing very well.
Right.
And so it's like you have like, I don't know, 20 seconds to like prove yourself and show yourself. And I had already been in the industry for over 10 years and everybody else beside me was like, this is like my thing. And I was like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, you know,
Right.
all of that. So it was all these
Absolutely.
emotions. And then my sisters were up in the balcony and they were like filming them. And I remember I sounded great. I will say that. I sounded really great. But for my perfectionism and my, you know, standards for myself, I just failed.
Right.
So I sang, and it was the "Take Me to Church, I Worship Like that song.
Ooh, love that.
And
Poison.
it was so
They
good.
standing up.
And and I don't think I can like call out names, but there was a certain people that like rolled their eyes when I sang. And again, reality television, it's like you have to have that kind of drama. And it made my soul sink. And then I was like, oh, and I looked up and my sisters like had their hands over their faces. And then I looked out and saw like on my old record label that signed me, they believed in me without me having to go on the reality show. And like, so yeah, I think I flipped off the camera so they couldn't film it.
I love that.
I started crying and I was like, oh, this is ABC. I gotta make it easy. So yeah, it worked out well.
Nice
And I
of
kept
her.
good relationships with the show too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I guess I would say American Idol because I made friends.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
that's what matters in
Nice,
life anyway.
nice.
Dope.
I love some of the horrible auditions that goes down.
Yeah, that is funny.
behind. It's like America's Funniest Home Videos. Watching that almost.
Well, why do they
It
air
is.
it, right?
Yes.
It's like they
Yeah.
air it.
Yes.
I know they air it for click. It's clickbait. You know,
Clickbait.
people want to watch,
You
but
gotta. Those people believe in themselves.
they do.
And I discussed this before in earlier pods. Like, you know, I went to an open mic. And I actually went by there yesterday again.
Oh boy.
And it's like, who, if you're becoming a singer, a comedian, whatever, who told you
Their moms.
that you can do this and you think it's funny?
All
Like,
it takes is support, man.
me and Moses were hanging out. The guy was up there and he goes, here comes this guy or whatever. And the guy goes, oh, you're not laughing at our jokes. And Moses like, no, we're not. You know, it's just like, but then you say clickbait. And that's why they watch those shows, because these people just, it's hysterical to me.
They
Yeah.
watch motivational videos. I'm sorry.
Right.
They watch motivational videos and they start believing in themselves, which they should. But then they believe that, like she said, their moms and dads fund them and
I guess
they get up there and tell horrible jokes.
It's kind of like if you think about it too, it's kind of shitty
It is.
because like it's not a false sense of confidence because they're obviously confident enough to go up and think that they're not embarrassing themselves.
Facts.
So there's this truth that like, you know, artists like me or people, you know, in a kind of a different caliber of talent, I guess.
Yes.
Maybe that's like the balance, or not monopoly, but it's the balance because like I get really insecure sometimes, or I get nervous thinking I'm not good enough. But next to somebody who has like that confidence that they blow, it's like if you could mix those two, you'd have a fucking, you know,
Super baby.
massive, super.
That's a valid point.
Valid
Yeah.
point.
But you know, more power to them.
More power to them.
This is so good.
Yeah.
We got another one.
Oh, my girl. That's my
That's
girl.
funny.
Because
That is my girl.
That is cool.
I love her. That whole family is incredible,
I'm
honestly.
cool with the family as well.
Really?
Noah, me and Noah are really, really cool.
I knew Noah when she was tiny. I used to like braid her hair when she was this
Oh,
tall.
wow.
She's very supportive of the podcast, by the way.
Oh,
That's
I
so
love
cool.
that. Oh, that makes me so happy. I wanted her to come to. I have hair on my nail. It's just like floating. I wanted them to come to the party, but they weren't available. Miley Cyrus. I mean, I toured as a backup singer with her for over 10 years. And before that, we were both signed to Hollywood Records and to Disney at the same time. And I initially got close with her sister, her older sister, Brandy. And Miley came over my house one day in Nashville and was like, I sing too. She was like, really? She was like, I'm a singer and I'm an actress and I'm going to be really famous one day. And I was like, dope. That's great. You know, and that I knew her before Hannah Montana was a thing.
Right.
So it's so crazy.
That is
Small
crazy.
world.
Small world. And they're good people.
Very.
That's really good to hear, Lo.
Yeah, they are just very like down to earth, and I'm sure as you know too, you meet the family and they are like just these southern sweet, kind people, and you are just family as soon as you walk in.
Literally.
And she can sing. Like,
Oh
you know,
my
she was
God,
doubted for
I know.
years, but she can really sing.
Very, very talented.
Very talented. Absolutely.
Acting, man, people, it's underrated too.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I loved about singing with Miley too. I started out, we toured together. So in the beginning, Hannah Montana opened up for my band with Disney first. And then in the middle of the tour, it switched because it was like this, you know, overnight success. I remember I called Brandy and I was like, dude, your sister has an end cap in Walmart, you know,
Yeah.
which for those of you watching who are remember the old times with the end caps and walking into, you know, record labels and putting your CD in front of
Buying
everybody else's.
CDs.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was my era in the music industry. But I'll never forget walking. It was the Walmart in Franklin, Tennessee. And I walked in and Hannah Montana was there. And I was like, this is going to be big. And I knew in that moment. And then like, you know, a couple months later, it switched to we were opening for Hannah Montana. And then fast forward, I forget how long it was, but one of their backup singers had gotten pregnant. And they were like, Jules, we need you to come sing backup. And I was like, I am not a backup singer. I am a front woman and I perform my ass off and I don't do that. Right. I love you, but I don't do that. And then they asked me and they're like, you know, we need your help. We need you to do this. It's like last minute and you know the songs and you know what you're doing. And then I did a show. I think I had to learn 26 songs in 5 days and I performed them in front of 60,000 people.
Wow.
In what country was that?
That's crazy.
I forget, but I only missed one word. And I was like,
And no one knew.
And
No one knew.
But she knew.
She knew.
One word, you know,
Center.
that lets you know right there.
I slept with them. I was like listening and I would like, they sent the stems. So I had everything like perfected in the BGV land. And I fell asleep with them in my ears and I would like clean my house and like work. And I didn't start singing them until 2 days before I left. Cause I was like, when the things are like subconsciously playing in your mind, you know, you're memorizing things without knowing it. And that was my system and it worked. And then I stayed for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That
That's
really
really cool.
is.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Memorizing lyrics is
Lines too. All memorizations. It's
tough.
you know what? Everybody's got to figure out how to do it because it's different for every person.
It is. But that process
I
I've
can
heard
imagine.
works for a lot of people on a high caliber. So
It's harder for me to like, I'll get like lyric sheets, but I cannot rely on them because the second that paper goes away, it's like, I can only fix my mistakes with the lyric sheet.
yeah.
Because if I keep missing something like more than, 2 or 3 times, I'll go back and be like, okay, just look at it for 2 seconds. And then that's how I memorize a song or, I can do it now in like 5 minutes and be able to perform something.
Muscle memory. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Working on that craft.
You guys hear this at home?
I know.
Practice makes perfect.
You hear
It does.
this.
So get to
does.
practicing.
That's the gym.
Yeah.
It's a gym right
Seriously.
there.
Practice never ends.
Okay, what we got? Oh, yeah. Okay. Coffee versus tea.
Coffee. I tried to be like really
That was real
healthy
quick.
once. I know. I'm addicted. It's a problem.
Are
I
you?
know that.
Yes.
Which is so funny because we talk about like the energy drinks earlier and like if I can drink those, I can drink a whole pot of coffee and not be, thinking the world is ending. But the second I get an energy drink,
It's done.
there's an earthquake, but
coming.
nobody else feels
Sky
it.
is falling.
You know what I mean?
What is
There's going to be a
allergy?
flood or something. Some disaster's
Yeah.
coming.
So,
Or maybe it's like opening up. Remember That's So Raven on
Yes.
Disney?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like opening. I become like a psychic.
Start seeing the
Maybe
future
I'm
before it
actually
happens.
seeing the future.
open your third eye.
Hasn't happened yet, but that's the feeling.
Right.
But yeah, I tried tea once. I tried to be all like, because I know it's better for you. Green tea makes you live longer. Doesn't do the shit. But I couldn't do it. And I even tried to get like this cute little bottle with the flowers that I love on it. I'm like, I'm gonna wake up every morning and plan out 15 minutes of my morning and make tea. Didn't do it. Even
awesome.
Keurig is too much time for me.
Right.
I have to have a pot of 8 cups ready to go for the drive-by
can't do
pour.
that.
Have my coffee.
P, what do you was up there with?
I do not do coffee. Coffee is I call it a laxative.
That's a good way to put it.
So yeah, I don't do coffee.
I have 1 cup a day.
I was heavy on tea at a point in time in my life. Now, not so much, but I guess I would say tea for me. Tea for me.
Yeah, tea for me too. Definitely. Coffee's
If
a
I
laxative.
have 1 cup of coffee, I'm like, like it's worse than me doing blow and shit. Like I get so amped up on coffee, it's unbelievable.
Oh my god!
I get all riled up. Like that's why I don't have any caffeine before I do the damn show.
Oh yeah.
You know,
But you cannot lie,
Super Joe
bro.
right there, huh?
You know, I've been on the phone with you before. You got some coffee and you were like, hey, this shit ran right through me.
I take shit, bro. That's some real ass shit. Like that's why a lot of people drink it.
running.
That's so
Oh
funny.
no!
Man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess, Yeah, one of 4 of them. Oh, this is dope. Actually, this story.
What is this?
That is the cover of a cover that I did of a song called "You Can't Hurry Love" by the. Damn it, Julia. Not the Supremes. What's the
7 something, wasn't it? 7? Yeah.
Oh, you just have to wait. You know love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. It is Supreme.
Don't second guess yourself.
Oh my gosh.
You got it.
That's the gut right there.
You know what's so funny is I was going to ask you to preview something, but you've been doing it already.
Yeah,
I ain't
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
ask you at the
She
end.
doing her
I'll
thing.
keep- I'll
You
keep
doing
saying
your
it.
kick, killing it.
But yeah, it's a cover by this girl named Emmy. And she made that. I remember the first edit I got back, I thought my arm was too big, so she made it smaller. And that isn't anyway. That
Little
does-
shoulder lean.
neither here nor there. So the cover that we did, it's like a very cinematic cover of the song, because if you listen to the lyrics, like girl bands back in the day, like they couldn't really like sing really sad songs. It had to be like, look at us, we're cute and we're moving and it's all upbeat and that kind of vibe.
Synchronism.
Yeah, but the lyrics to that song it's really sad. Yeah. It's like, her heart is broken and her mom is saying like, it's gonna be okay. You can't hurry this, even though you're in pain right now and it sucks, just hold on a second. So I wanted to create a cover that was actually the heartbeat behind the song, the meaning behind a song that sounds so happy. So it's very like cinematic, and like the way I'm singing it is like kind of quiet, and I used to belt all the time, and it's one of the first projects that I kind of got on my own. The company called 45 Records, they're out in the UK.
Right.
And they were doing a compilation for just supporting women and women artists. And I was like, I'm so down if I can do it my way.
Right.
And they said, yeah. So that's the cover. It's one of my favorite covers. And Bert Elliott is the producer on it. It was me and him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge
Dropping
name.
bombs.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
For real. Like, dropping bombs for
I'll
sure.
let that slide over your head.
If y'all don't know, Google.
Yes, you can't hurry love.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Oh, nice.
Right on.
All right.
That was fun.
That was
Man,
so
that was
fun.
dope. Let it
Right?
fly.
I thought it was going to be like those ink pictures, and I had to decide like,
No, we try not to get that.
I
crazy.
told you we're coming on. We ain't doing nothing crazy.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
all
yeah.
be positive,
Crazy.
positive,
I
positive.
All love. Yeah.
It's all
Right.
love.
I love that.
Nah,
That's
this
cool.
is definitely more about the story of you and the amazing individual you are.
Absolutely.
So, diving back into it, you alluded to, being a part of Disney and everything. Could you share with us and, the people at home what that journey was like and what you learned from it?
Yeah. I mean, it all started on a rainy day in 1997. I was 8 years old. So you do the math, first of all. Not telling you my age. But I don't think it was raining. It could have been.
It could have been. You had us. You had us.
Yeah. The whole story of music in my life, my mom was a motivational speaker, and my dad they're still here with us, thank God.
Right.
But he's like a poet, but also like a builder. So he built houses, and like he is a creator and a different way, creator with his hands and his mind,
Right,
obviously.
right.
And my mom was very she's exuberant and creative and a writer. And like, I was homeschooled when I was younger, and my creative writing was writing songs.
Right.
So I was always singing. And so there's like an interview answer that I've said my whole life, you know, in interviews of how I started and why I started. But I told myself before I came here today, I didn't want to do the memorized answer.
We don't do
So I'm not
interviews
gonna
here.
do it. No, I
We
love
do conversation
that.
based. This
Tell
whole
'em,
thing is
calm down.
conversation
I love
based. It's to give the people a genuine feel of who you are and who we are. So
Let's
there's no
hear
interview.
that.
Yeah. So
This is
good.
all off the heart. This is all conversation.
I love it. With that, the whole reason I started is because I wanted to make the world smile as much as my mom did when
Holy
she spoke to people. Yeah, so and I sang all the time.
She hitting in the heart, y'all.
Yo, that just hit everything.
It's true. I mean, I was the little like the comedic relief in my family as the youngest of 3 girls, and any sad moment, anything, I was recording radio shows on my little recorder, and I would like go down and perform for my family and be like, I'm gonna make you laugh now because at 3:30 p.m. you were sad, and I'm gonna fix that no matter how long it takes. And so like I would just do that and create, and I've been singing since I was 3 or 4 years old. There's videos of me just being like da 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 da, and so I wanted to make people happy, and I knew that music made me happy. And so I asked my sisters if they wanted to sing together. And my older sister was so shy. Her name's Amber and Sarah. Sarah's the middle, Amber's the oldest. And Sarah and I, we were like the twins. She's like, hell yeah, let's go do everything together. Like we conquered the world together. Grew up on 25 acres in the middle of nowhere in Pittsburgh, in the beautiful house my dad built for us with a red roof. It was like a magical, magical space. And I sang for trees. I love trees. The trees were my first audience.
Wow.
And they always supported me, and they always clapped.
Mm-hmm.
Clip that, Ricky. Wow. Clip that, Ricky. Wow.
Seriously.
They did. It's like that was my world.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was magical. And I feel like the easiest place to create is in nature, because it's like, there's nobody judging. There's nobody. It's just full feeling. It's full human everything, if God is listening. And so, I mean, I guess God's always listening. But, so random. We asked my older sister if she'd be open to do it. She said no. And we're like, well, if we have found somebody else doing it, are you down? And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So that week or something, Hanson was on a morning show. And we're like 3 brothers performing.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And so she's like, crap. Like I told my 2 younger sisters that I would do it, and they found somebody, and which is so crazy that happened. But that was the beginning. And then that Christmas, we were surprised with a drum set, keyboard, mic, speakers, and a guitar in our basement by our parents.
That's what's up.
And because we started out a cappella. And we were writing our own songs because somebody in Pittsburgh told us it was illegal to sing other people's songs.
Wow.
And it was the best, worst advice, because I've been writing since I was 8 years old because of it.
Right. Wow.
So
Hard work.
yeah.
Did you hear that?
I thought I was going to get arrested and go to jail.
That's crazy.
The fear in my
Who
poor
told
little
you? Like a
body.
Bible Belt type of.
No.
Not to get into that.
It was
but
one of our first managers, actually, who taught harmony. That was like Spider-Man.
I know. I thought it was gonna spill. That's why I moved. I was like, oh,
That was
we're gonna have
impressive.
to
You gotta have faith in the
call
myth.
Joey Mitz for a reason.
You gotta be faith in the myth.
All that shit.
The
You
myth.
got it.
This guy's got the biggest hand. Look at
I
this.
love that. But yeah, that's,
Da-da-da.
He's got the whole world in his hands.
Sorry to interrupt your train of thought.
know.
but,
it's
you know.
okay. I kind of interrupted it right there. So here we are.
Here we are.
What was I saying?
You were talking about
The manager
and
told you
manager.
Oh, the
that.
manager, yeah,
Yes.
said it was illegal to sing other people's songs. And I was like, well, I really want to do this, which means that we have to write our own. So we did. And we didn't know harmony yet. He taught us harmony. He was in a 5-part a cappella harmony group.
Wow.
So we learned that. And that was the start of my background with vocal producing and understanding harmonies. And I was kind of a tyrant with my sisters, which I have apologized for recently, actually.
Oh, recently.
Yeah. I would see like videos of me at like 12 or 13, like looking at my sisters like, you're flat, you're flat, you're flat. And I feel so bad. But, you know, it's like at this point, I always say, I'm like, I've already put my 50,000 hours in,
Right.
you know, like every day since I was a child. And there was never anything else I wanted to do outside of creating and writing and music and singing. And although a lot of my childhood was, you know, touring and not having many friends and, you know, traveling, missing birthday parties, not going to school, not like living the normal life that I was dreaming of as this like thing, that was never as important as what I had and what I was in. So my mom told me today, she's like, you need to tell them about that one interview. So this is the one interview, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. She goes, she doesn't talk like that either. I don't know where this is.
She's like, I do not talk like that.
No, she's like, don't do that.
That's what I'm visualizing. Like,
Yeah. I don't understand. Actually, doesn't that mean like more in sign language?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
So there was an interview. I think I was 10 or 11, and this guy was like on a radio show and TV show, I think, because we were standing, and he like went up to my older sister. He's like, what would you do if you couldn't do music? And she was like, well, you know, I think I'd be a graphic designer, or like, you know, she said something. And my middle sister, he's like, what would you do? And she was like, I think I'd work with people in fitness or something else. And he came to me, and I just kind of looked at him like, this is the stupidest question ever.
Right.
And I was like, if I couldn't sing, I would sing.
Right.
And he was just like, all right, thank you guys for coming, and blah, 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 blah. Because I was like, there's no answer. I don't have an answer to that because there is no end. And I've been blessed with this career to like keep moving in so many different directions. And I was an artist in a band with my sisters, and then I was an artist myself, and now I write for other people, and then I was a backup singer, and you know, now I've started a company in music. Like everything is encompassing in this world that my parents said was okay to live in.
Right.
You know, and encouraged me in this entire circle of the creative world. Did that answer the question? Or like how far did I go off on it?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Amazing.
Courage.
That was
Yeah, a lot of courage.
And such a unique perspective, you know, that people will resonate with. Absolutely, for sure. I wanted to ask you something. What is it? Write, release, repeat.
Yeah.
You want to explain that? That I love that mantra. That can you explain that a little bit?
Write, release, repeat. That came from in the perfectionism brain of writing and being an artist, like the amount of failure that creatives experience hourly in this industry is insane. And it can make you feel like you're going nuts. You know, like this is my 26th year of working in this industry, and the no's that I've experienced, the you're not good enough, this song is not a hit, this is like, you know, 2 seconds away from being on an Apple commercial and you're going to have $150,000 in 3 weeks, and then it falls through to, you know, being so broke that I got a job at a makeup store and pretended like I knew how to do makeup on people, and like worked my way up in this wedding company by saying I did hair for 20 years or 15 years at that point. And I, you know, like there's so many things that you have to like fight through in this world, but I did those things for a short time and I came back.
Yes.
And with write, release, repeat, that is what I tell myself when I write a song and I don't want to give it up or I don't want to release it, because if that one song that I love so much is the last great thing I'm ever going to write, I might as well quit now.
Facts.
Wow.
And so I know that, you know, the creative mind is God to me. And if God is never ending and God is love, then it is constantly flowing through all of us. So if it's never ending, then it's like numbers, you know.
Right.
You can always find new treasure in songs. So that's my mantra.
So true.
So when you write, do you pull from a lot of personal experiences, or do you like go out in public and people watch? I mean, because I've heard different things from screenwriters, what they do, and I haven't had to talk to too many songwriters over the years. So I just wanted to pose that question to you.
I think it's all
Everything,
of it. Yeah. A lot of mine is, you know, the first verse could be my personal story. Pre-chorus could be something I saw on the street on a Friday. the chorus is like the overall thought of 25 conversations I've had in 6 months, and then the rest of it follows suit.
She's got that down to a T.
Yeah, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's all a mix. Like songwriting and music is the universal language.
Right.
So, you know, it's the way that we all can communicate. And it's like music is quite literally the soundtrack to our lives.
It is.
You know, and songs that we hear, even if it's an instrumental, like there's a story in there. There's a story in the
Sure
chords
is.
and the feeling. And
I think a
with
lot of people
lyrics.
forget about that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
so
story.
true.
You know, I really do. When you talk about music, that's what it is. It's all storytelling. You know, comedians do storytelling. We watch storytelling with films, movies, TV, you know, even commercials. And I think a lot of people think about songs. They forget about that. And that's what it is.
Predate years ago. I mean, thousands of years ago, it was sit around and sing songs. I
Yep.
mean, that was
Yep.
entertainment.
Exactly.
But to what she was saying, definitely, like, I know a lot of creative minds and people that write lyrics, they're like, I can write another one, you know, like,
Yeah.
and basically what you were alluding to, for sure.
No, and also piggybacking off of that, would you say that some of your most impactful or inspirational music has come off of your most worst times ever? Like a breakup or, you know, a tragedy as far as family or whatever? Has that been some of the music that's created some of the biggest songs for you?
I think so. The most impactful. I think that it's on the furthest side of both spectrums, in like the side of love and happiness. Like I'm very much in love right now in a beautiful relationship, and
Nice.
you know, for the first time in life, believing that love is possible and experience it and experiencing it the way that they say, when you know, you know.
So cool.
And so now I'm able to easily write songs that are relatable for the people that are also experiencing that for the first time. So that's like on the happiest of the happiest. And people always say it's so hard to write love songs and happy songs, but it's like, not really, if it's conversational. And then also, yeah, the deepest pains is also the most relatable. Because it's like at every point, the middle ground is like going out on a Friday, you know, feeling good, whatever. That's like the middle ground, like let's go party, let's have fun. And then there's like the deep, deep shit that people press play over and over and over again because they need to cry or they need to feel like somebody is next to them in their pain. And then also this one, it's either like these people listening to the love going, this is what I want, this is what I'm reaching for. And then the people that are in it going, they feel the same way, you know? So I would say both of the ends of the spectrum.
Heck yeah.
Before we leave this, though,
Yeah.
you want to talk about Master a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's can you explain to
I
the
was like,
people at home and what you've created and you know how you know what it is for the creative mind?
Yeah, Moser Music was started in a conversation with a friend of mine, Andreas Moss. He was talking about writing camps and wanted to have people together. And I was working at the time with a client who had a nonprofit. And I was like, what if, you know, in this idea of creating a new industry of like giving back. And I was like, what if we were able to connect songwriting camps to nonprofits? And I asked my client and he was like, yeah, I'd be interested in that. So we ended up doing our first song camp in Spain. And the nonprofit is called the Remy Healthcare Foundation.
So cool.
And I found through the last like year and a half, I guess, is like the blood, sweat, and tears of creating any business. So the heartbeat of Moser is to give back to producers and artists and songwriters.
That's fucking amazing.
So
dude. That's
amazing.
hold on, let me just say that's a beautiful
amazing.
fucking thing.
There we go. There we go.
That's a beautiful thing.
I love it when he says it.
That's awesome.
It really
That-
is.
That touches my heart when I hear that. That's because when I met you, your energy, and I'm a big person on energy. Some people don't believe that shit about me, but I am. Her energy is so amazing.
Yeah.
And when I met you at that great party, and we were chopping it up, and what we basically talked about is like just getting creative together, bringing people together that have good energy, and just hearing that what she just said, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That makes me happy to hear that.
What's
That's
awesome
great.
is it's been easy to get people involved because I'm able to look at a creative and say, hey, do you want to go to an exotic place or a destination writing camp? There's a day off in it. You know, we can all hang out. Also, you get paid to be there. Also, it's all expenses paid. And also, you owe us nothing.
So cool.
That's so cool.
And nobody's doing that from what I know. And then the other part of it is that every single song that is created at these camps are giving back to separate nonprofits that are partnered with us for that camp in perpetuity. Wow. So the first one was, supporting and educating families with autism or a child with autism. That was the Remy Healthcare Foundation in Spain. And we wrote 33 songs that week that are being pitched. And then this last camp in Greece in April was, I think we have 42 to 47 records that were created that are giving back to and supporting Sadhguru's Conscious Planet Foundation, saving soil around the world. Yeah.
Wow.
Through
It's pretty
music,
incredible.
you're saving the planet.
Yeah.
Saving the planet,
So
saving the
that's
world.
amazing.
for people at home, where can they find, donate, help out? What can they do? Where can they find this at?
At mosser.us.
Gotcha.
That's our website and learning more information. Mosser Music on Instagram. And, we're still new and we're, moving forward and just building this community. And I also want, if anybody has a nonprofit that you believe in, please let me know, because there is no end goal, because there's no ends to goals, in my opinion, because you're always moving up and forward and expanding. But I would love to have like an incredible list of nonprofits that feel like family, that have, what we set up for them to receive royalties.
That's so cool.
So people will be able to choose, like say you release a song. I just talked to an artist that Sean and I have been working with, and she's able to set up one of the songs from her EP that we wrote together to give back to Save Soil without even being at the camp.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah.
That's
Right.
an
Doing
amazing.
big things.
yeah,
Doing big things.
I'm excited.
Seriously.
What you got?
Thanks,
What you
y'all.
got, Joe?
I think it's Joe. What you got, Joe?
If you could change
Uh-oh.
one thing in the world, what would it be?
One thing in the world,
Timing.
Twister.
I honestly, it's what I'm doing already.
Oh,
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
what
It's
an
what I'm-
answer. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that feels good. I haven't thought of it that way, but that's what I would change. And I said earlier about, songwriters and artists like writing the soundtrack to our lives. If we didn't have music,
Right.
life would feel so weird.
It would.
wouldn't. We would live, but it would be weird. And even if we didn't know about it, we would feel like there's something missing. And like, I am such an advocate for writers being paid and seen, because you can have an instrumental, but top liners, those songs and how we are treated and how much money we don't make is very sad. And like, you can find all of this online if you look it up, but
1,000% true.
it's crazy. It's so crazy. And I'm fighting constantly in this career, even like building this business, to not demand payment, but explain why it doesn't make sense that we're not getting paid.
Yeah.
Like I want there to be like the knowledge be accessible and people understand what's going on. But yeah, I want the people that should be seen to be seen in so many areas, even if it's a nonprofit that is local. And they're like, we want our voices to be heard. Like, okay, cool. Let me give you this vehicle that I'm on that is, to be a bridge between nonprofits and the music industry and open up this door. Like, here's a platform. Yell,
Right.
if we can do that. So
I love your
for all.
answer.
Heck
Thanks.
yeah.
I love it.
Between instrumental and lyrics and, if you want to say producer or whatever you want to cut in there, the lyrics are what makes the song.
Yeah.
I mean, period. I mean, the melodics of the beat is one thing, but you control the direction.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do a split, the writers should be making the most.
So
sense.
I mean, I know Lance has been in the music business, and I know P's got ties to it. I've always found that this dumbfounds me, because I'm in SAG, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild, and they have a Writers Guild and they have a Directors Guild. Now, when you look at music, there's nothing, and I've never understood
crazy.
why.
Crazy.
I just never got it.
It's ancient. That's why.
It's ancient. You're
Yeah.
exactly right.
Then they haven't
They've
changed the
never done
rules.
it, huh?
No, because streaming companies, again, it's like,
Because
I'm not gonna shit
yeah,
on
but I mean, Napster's the one that fucked everything up in the beginning.
yeah.
And I mean, I just feel that there's got to be something where there's, set what you get paid to do something. There's got to be set. There shouldn't be. I mean, there should be negotiations, of course, but there's got to be at least a fee and then go from there. And I don't like it. I never understood it, and it does bother me. And I'm not even in the business.
She's about to explain to you right now
Which oh yeah.
about the
I mean, it is ancient. And it's like like I said about the reality shows and all
Right.
of that. It's like I respect the work ethic. I respect building something from the ground up. But what I don't respect is using people and stealing, because that's what a lot of big companies do with
Correct.
creators. They're millionaires. Congratulations.
Right.
Like, good on you, but who makes your product? And the music industry is, like, I would say, the only industry where you make a product and then it's sold by the people who didn't buy it and they make all the money. And it's like, this makes no sense to me. And I'm still learning. Like, there are incredible people that are speaking on this more
As they
online.
should.
And yeah, it's coming to light way more. But like, the industry is as old as Happy Birthday and Amazing Grace. I'm serious. Like, that's where all these kind of came into place. And it is just the same in the law. And then the bigger companies will come in and go, ooh, there's not even loopholes. There's just fucking hallways.
Yes.
Like
Seriously.
it's
Wide
just-
open.
And they
yeah,
walk
wide
straight
open
down, yeah.
spaces.
Yes, it is.
Like this is a road called advantage, and they're taking it. And that's what writers are dealing with. But as much as I get so tired of it, thank God for social media,
Yes.
because
Right.
that is what's shedding a light on all of this. And I'm able to kind of create this company more so on the back end, because I'm not like, standing up and actually yelling it from the rooftops, but supporting the people that are, and also making this space. Like the party that we had on Friday, one of the drinks was for cranberry vodka was Can We Pay the Writers?
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you
Like,
guys.
all the execs and everybody there that I love, they had to order that.
Because there's so much street. Because
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
She was like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember if Mark was there or you were there, but Paul McCartney owns the rights to Happy Birthday, correct? Is that
Oh,
right?
Is that true?
I don't know.
Do you remember they redid the song because it got copyrighted?
Yeah,
You
I
couldn't
think-
use it
I
anymore.
think that was so you can't use Happy Birthday anymore.
You can't sing it.
It makes about $2 million a year on copyright restrictions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
I
but
think
don't
it's Paul McCartney.
No, I think that was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Google it real quick.
Well,
Can you
didn't
Google
it
it real
be,
quick?
didn't
We had to rewrite it.
You had to
Oh, really?
rewrite it. There was a
I thought
contest.
Michael
That's why
Jackson's
yeah.
estate-
Well,
Happy
Michael
Born
Jackson
Day.
sold it.
Right.
To you.
No, I'm
Switch
just.
that up real
Good
quick.
Morning to You. was
Good
the
morning.
first one.
Okay, okay.
That's the actual song. So
And-
they sue like Chili's and all these.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's
That's
what
why-
bothers me about that
Wow.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
I'm about to Google the shit out of that later.
shit. He's fast at
right
this. She'll
now.
figure it out right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Wow.
So the melody of Happy Birthday to You comes from the song Good Morning to You, which has traditionally been attributed to American sisters Patty and Mildred J. Hill in 1893, although the claim that the sisters composed the tune is disputed.
That sounds
Wow.
surprising.
And then Michael Jackson, by the way, neither Paul McCartney nor Michael Jackson have owned the
Okay,
song.
never mind. That was a
Gotcha.
rumor.
Warner brings in over $2 million a year in royalties for
Warner. Oh, that makes sense.
See,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, this is a weird industry.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to work a job, own a company, do 7 other things, and be a songwriter to be able to pay your bills.
So
You
true.
know?
on the hustle.
Yeah.
And she got comedian covered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
That's funny.
I wanted to left field it really quick. So a lot of people at home don't know about K-pop.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you explain K-pop and BTS and all these,
Yeah.
the genre that people really don't know about? And especially I know some of our people are like, what? Do you know about K-pop,
No,
Joe?
I don't.
It's time to educate. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I know you
But
too. So
Let's go ahead and educate the
us a little
compadres
bit
at
about
home
K-pop.
and
I
Joe
know,
right
I listen to
here.
shit, fucking old school shit. I beg. I don't listen to all
Ice
this other
Cube,
shit.
right.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
Don't forget about my boy 40.
K-pop's a world.
It is.
It is a world, and I didn't understand it even when I started writing for it. This was like, oh God, my timelines are so.
Right.
Sometimes I think I'm still in my 20s.
It's okay. You've been doing this since
Stay
8.
there.
been doing
Yeah.
this
Yeah, you've had a long career
Exactly,
already.
yeah.
If you were in your 20s, so you're good. I get
Yeah.
it.
50,000 hours.
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
people do 10,000.
Yeah.
Right. And complaining still. So
We listen.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, I think 3 years ago. Let's say 3, but potentially 5. But I've been writing in it for a while, and I was introduced by another writer friend of mine at the time, and she was like, there's this label that needs a song written, and it's K-pop. And I was like, K-pop. K-pop, okay. And so like I wrote just like a normal pop melody. And they came back and they're like, we need different sections. And I was like, what? What do you mean? And then I was like, I kind of broke it down to, if you're writing a movie, you make that music.
Gotcha.
So you have a storyline, and then it's like the verses are like the story, and then the pre-chorus is the what's it called, like in a movie where it's like the intense
Climax.
part.
Climax.
Yeah. And then the chorus is the concept.
The plot.
And it's like, if it's not even the words, it's the melodies.
It's the melodies.
So if I'm writing a K-pop song, when I first started forever ago, it was like these sections. I see music very visually, like in colors and in steps and all of that. So when I'm writing, I'm looking at it going like, okay, this is a landscape. You know, I'm creating a world now. And so that's what I loved about it. I just discovered recently that I have ADHD. And that was like, yeah, I had no idea.
So was this self-diagnosed or did you actually get clinically diagnosed?
It was
for
self-diagnosed because I didn't want to go. I respect doctors. I think they're amazing, but I
Right.
don't want a pill for it.
Right.
Because I
Right.
believe it's my superpower. But I wish I would have known when I was younger,
Yeah.
when it was very hard to concentrate and focus. And I was like, I'm broken, you know, but nobody's broken. And I know that now in my 30s. But oh shit. I just said I was
supposed
in
to
my
let
30s.
that
No.
slip. That's all good.
That's why I said K-pop before you said that. I was like,
It's all
K-pop.
good. It's all good.
It's all good.
No, it's
Anyway.
all good.
So yeah, it's like this landscape of a song, and it just like, it was so fun to start creating because I didn't have to be in any boxes.
Right.
I was like, I can just use all my favorite melodies and move into one house. You know, every wall is like painted different. It's like these K-pop songs felt, they're a little bit more like westernized now, but they felt like this, I don't know how to explain it. I'm like picturing the house in my mind, but it's like this, if you picture a house with different colors and like steps that go different directions, but it's like, it's still a house and it's all contained and it's fun.
That's a great visual.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That was a really good visual.
Yeah. I could see that.
That was like the start for me. And then we got the first BTS cut, which was Home. And that was a big day.
They're the biggest in the game.
It was huge. I mean, the song, I have like my first platinum record and, you know, a gold record and Billboard #1 on my wall in my studio.
That's
and
awesome.
So cool.
when I started here in LA, I've been working out here for like 15 years from Nashville, but I moved here 6 years ago. And my studio, I should have pulled the picture for you before, but it was a broom closet. So I was in the broom closet in my tiny apartment with a ribbon mic on Woodman Avenue in Sherman Oaks. So I was like in the closet, in my teal IKEA chair, and I would sit, and I had a tiny little white table, and it was like the one that's like shaped like a guitar pick because I knew it would fit in the corner,
Right.
and it was like kind of flimsy. So I would like, when I had to record to make money, I work on a site, by the way, called Sound Better, which is incredible for musicians and songwriters to be a part of.
Dope.
That was started kind of at the beginning of the company, and that's how I have stayed afloat as a writer, honestly. But I was working on Sound Better, and I had just started working with the company, and I'm like, I have to pay my bills because I don't want to do hair and makeup again. No offense, it's we need that in the world, but I don't like lying to people.
Right.
You know, it's not good, like karma. So I set up in there, and I had my little table, my ribbon mic, and I had like blankets everywhere. And I had to close the door behind me like this, and it would hit my back. And I would be singing like this, and I would just be sweating. And like I'd do the verse and the pre-chorus, and I'd be like, okay, fuck. And I'd open the door. So I'd try to breathe.
Turn them fans on.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't have it on because of ribbon mic too. But well, yeah, I
Pick everything up.
Kill the fans.
Oh,
and then
God.
like I would write in there, and I'd like write outside to get fresh air, and then I'd go back in and cut the vocal, and then I'd send it off to my client. They'd be happy, and I would get $150. And then you had to do a lot of those to make rent in LA.
For sure.
But going back to those plaques, 2 years ago, I think, one of our roommates moved out, and I was able to make a studio in my apartment. And I have this amazing, like, electric stand desk and like my speakers that I bought myself. And I put the plaques up, and I remember standing in that space with the air conditioning going and going, I did something big. This is big. This still small room in LA with these plaques on the wall in my space in my studio is big. And it's like, that was success to me. I had reached this moment of everything that I wanted for those like four or so years living here. And that's the memory of those plaques to me.
What do we say? What
that
do we
was
usually
deep.
say, guys?
Clip that, Ricky.
That was deep. That was so deep.
Fire.
There's been a lot of deep moments.
Yes. So we are at the positive period of the podcast where we leave the ComPODres at home with some positivity until next week.
Yeah.
So is there anything you would like to leave them home with?
Yeah, I guess that story for sure. I mean,
That was deep.
you can start in a closet and end up in your own studio. And it's like it's the telltale. It's the normal story everybody tells of just work your ass off and keep going. And I'm still working my ass off, and I still keep going every day. I still have moments where I cry and I'm like, what am I doing? This is like 26 years and I'm successful here, but I'm not successful to this person that's thinking, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like, I love it. I love it so much. I love creating. I love meeting people. Like I met you because of music, and I met the love of my life because of music. I met some of my best friends because of this. And it's like, write, release, repeat.
I love that.
I know. It's
I
such a
love
good
that.
mantra.
Yeah.
Before we get into the rest, I wanted to ask about like being in the room with some of the dope producers you have been. I mean, I've seen some stuff like Murder Beats and like how was that? Like, cause he's so popular, right?
Yeah.
And then like, I know you've been in the room with a lot of people. Like, can you explain a little bit about like the creative process that you guys go through and meeting those people? And I'm sure you idolize some of them that you have been in the room with, right?
For sure. What's dope is Murder Beats came through because of Mosser.
Oh, okay.
Because of my company.
Gotcha.
Because of what we're offering. It's like, hey, here's a free vacation to Greece. And, you get to write songs with people. And also, we had 18 writers there. And the writers that wouldn't have been able to work with a producer or artist like Murda or like
Right.
OG Parker or Eric Bellinger, they were all there and we're all in the same room in Greece. And the talent level is all on the same level. There's just more money and more success.
Yes.
But in Greece and at these camps, the Mosser camps, everybody goes like this.
Right.
It's like there's no special treatment because we're all creatives and we're all fighting,
Such a dope concept.
She's so humble about it.
Eric,
That's what I love.
Eric's amazing.
He's
Eric
dope.
is everybody that
I
you
don't even
named.
even
he
want to say
popped
that.
out like 4 songs in one day, and I walked in the room and I'm like, these are great. I'm like, I felt so grateful and honored to be at my company's camp.
Right.
Just looking at these creatives, like everybody's so talented and everybody still has that same story of like, of fighting and being more successful and creating more. And they do the same thing with writing and they love it.
Yep.
And like with the camps too, they're exclusive. It's invite only. It has to go through a whole process.
Of course.
If there's an ego, you're not invited.
Right. No riffraff.
Love that.
And yeah,
That's
no.
how it should be.
And I've met there's always going to be people in this industry, but I've said no to people that probably could have helped my company.
Right.
But it's like, no, thank you. There's too many people that are so fucking talented, that are so kind and so willing to be a part of that family aspect, that
Absolutely.
family vibe. But yeah, I was honored to be there. And every time I love writing, even on the days where I'm like, I'm so stressed out, I don't even know what I'm doing and there's too much going on. And I'm like driving to a session in traffic in LA and I'm like, fuck, why am I going to a session when I have a studio in my own house? And blah, 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 blah. What am I doing?
Right.
And then I get there and I'm like, because when you're writing in any scenario, whether it's, somebody really successful or a new artist that I'm getting to create with, the way I experience creativity is we all become kids again. So when you're kids and you're playing with your new friend, you see a new friend on the street and you're like, it's kind of awkward at first. And it's like, this is my name. And it's like, do you want to play? And the kid goes, yeah, because that breaks the ice. And as we get older, that kind of goes away a little bit because of our egos and our fear and our insecurities. But being in the music industry, we get to step back into that place and go, what if we pretend that, what if we said this? And it's like, you're just kids,
Right.
and always tapping into this space. And I think that's why it keeps us young, keeps us happy, and I forget about the traffic because I'm having fun and I'm playing and creating this magical world and finding this treasure that nobody else has ever found before.
Yes. So good.
Yeah.
Woo.
Thanks.
That was great as well.
I'm glad I asked that question, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
What you got, P?
Go ahead, P. Throw it down.
You got any positivity?
I do.
Okay. I guess I'll go first since
Yeah.
y'all want to go last.
You're motivational P, bro.
Someone actually told me this. So this was a person who actually told me this. So I want to give this to you and everybody at home. You are a star. Don't allow people's self-doubts or non-belief within themselves to smog your consolation. The real people will see through the fake.
Ours.
Wow.
Very nice.
I love that.
I was thinking about it today, because I knew this was going to come up. And I was thinking about a saying that my mom used to say, right? She used to tell me, eat all your food because there's people out there that, don't have food, right? So it made me think about fast forward till now when we're grown adults and what the message was. And to me, applying that to life now is just like not to be wasteful with your time, with your health, with things that are important to you. So that's my motivation for people.
I love that.
I would have to say I have, I don't even know how I'm going to follow up on this one. And I usually throw dimes down, but
You do. You got it.
don't be a yes person. I think we get so twisted that we want to help everyone out and say yes, 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 and then when you say no, they get pissed. You don't need them around.
Right.
It's okay to say no to stuff in your job, in your everyday life, or whatever you do. Just don't be a yes person. It's not going to get you anywhere. They're not going to be there for you in the end. So
That is something I am practicing as of now, continuously practicing.
A lot of people I'm sure are, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people I'm sure are.
yeah, they are.
Yes. Now, let the compadres at home know where to find you, your tags and everything.
All of it.
All of
Everything.
it.
Because we didn't even talk about the tequila that she has.
We did
and
not bring
need
the amazing bottle upstairs.
She need, yeah.
I mean,
Well, she can come back. We can have her back.
Now it's
we got it.
Casa Azul.
Casa Azul. It's
It's
amazing.
very popular.
Organic tequila. It's so amazing. It's smooth. I love tequila. Makes me smile on a Saturday. Every day's a Saturday in this industry.
It was definitely a smooth shot we all took before coming up. But yeah.
Casa Azul. It really was, and like I said, you guys know I'm not a big tequila guy. That was smooth. It was. Does me dirty, Makes me want to fight.
What tequila?
Oh man,
I was gonna say something
Makes
else.
me wanna
I'll
do
put that on blast.
not just Hennessy.
Well, I was throwing a layup for you guys to make fun of me right there.
No, I mean, I didn't want to go too deep into it.
You good. So yeah.
Back to you,
Love
though.
some Casa Azul.
Yeah.
But yeah, my socials are Julia Ross Music on Instagram, Mosser Music on Instagram as well. I'm pretty much an Instagram person, and I feel like that does show my age because I don't TikTok. I've tried so hard, and maybe someday I will, but I won't. So yeah, that's those are our socials right now, and mosser.us is the website, and yeah, just building.
Keep on building.
Yeah.
So talented, uber talented.
Amazing.
I mean, amazing.
Amazing energy
And
too.
hilarious.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So
guys.
blessed for having you. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Sure.
And you know what the time it is, compadres.
Yep.
It's at COMPODRES. Emphasis on the POD. And to my right, Lance the Man himself.
I am _ill son.
And also to my right, the real Joe Rosati himself.
I'm at the real Joe Rosati.
You always got it every time.
And I am SB Press. And like that, compadres, we're gone.
Yeah.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. But